Hello, hello, hello. Celeste Cuffy here of Life Empowered Consulting Services. I do hope you all are well. I'll give you a couple of moments to join. Hey, sis. Nice of you to join me. How come you're not asleep yet? Kendrick, how are you? Tell my sis I said hi. Tell Leslie I said hey. I will not be on the here very long. I just wanted to check in with you all and say hello. There's been a couple of changes and updates that I want to make, but I believe that there is a lesson in everything. So we will give people just a couple of more seconds to join. No one knew I was doing this. Hey, Raymond, hope you're doing well. Um, but wanted to give you guys a few seconds to join so that I can go ahead and get started. Again, I will not keep you very long. I am very aware of the time. All of us probably should be in the bed or at least in our PJs and on our way. But it was difficult for me to get past this day without doing this live. And so today is March 12th. March 12th is actually the day 19 years ago that my dad passed away. So it's just been a bit of a heavy day, but not in grief, but in celebration. And so this video is not grieving the loss of his life, but a celebration of his life and who he was as a dad and father to me. So I just wanted to take a few moments and share a couple of things, and then also basically share a few things in the updates. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you about, of course, was my dad. Again, this being the day of his demise, but again, wanting to still celebrate him. I put a article out on LinkedIn about being present. I went to my niece's school for Valentine's Day, and there was a little girl in there, and she was fairly distraught because her person wasn't present. And so I wonder, that was a lesson for me, and I wonder if we are present in the lives of the people that are most meaningful to us. And I relate that back to my dad because he was present. He was a very present father. My brothers and I, the next one underneath me, is 8 years apart. And so a lot of people say, oh, I thought you were the only child. And part of that is because I act like I'm the only child and I was the only girl. So there you have it. But he was very present. I can think back to times when I was a kid. My mother worked second shift. And so during those times, because of my dad's hours, I would be at my grandmother's house. And I would call my dad and say, hey, would you bring me some candy? So he would come to the house. He would knock on the door if we didn't answer the door, because of course we were taught not to open the door. He would throw rocks or something at the window, and we'd at least look out the window to see who was there. And he would bring me candy. So very much so present throughout my life until I lost him. And so I am grateful for that. And I think as leaders, it's important that we too are very present in the lives of the people that we love, because there is an impact to that. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, this is also International Women's Month. And so I wanted to celebrate my mother. I talk all the time, I think about my dad, but my mother, she was the rock. She took care of my dad. She supported him whether she agreed or she didn't agree. And even when he was sick, she still managed to hold down a full-time job and yet come home and care for him while he was in and out the hospital and battling with this illness. So I wanted to make sure that I took a moment to celebrate the strength of a woman and the strength of women during this International Women's Month, because had it not been for my mom, right, I think that there would have been a lot of gaps. And not only that, again, celebrating my dad's life, and although he's gone, we have to also get to the point where we recognize and appreciate not what we lost, or not just what we lost, but what we have left. And so I don't have my dad anymore, but I have her, and cherishing that. And moving back to Wisconsin, she helped me unpack my house. She was here like every day for a week, raising my kids. She was always there, babysitting, picking them up, dropping them off, whatever we needed her to do to support the family. And so for that, I am very appreciative. So again, the first point was that we want to be present as leaders. The second point is we want to celebrate not only what we lost or acknowledge what we lost, but also celebrate and acknowledge what we have left. And then the third point that I wanted to share with you, and this is a true story, guys. I'm not making any of this stuff up. The night before my dad passed away, I actually had a dream. And I had a dream that, and I remember it like yesterday. He used to wear this really kind of old hat. It was like a tweed hat. It was a black and like white tweed hat, and it had a leather bill on it, right? Is that what it's called? And he would wear that, and then he had this black kind of a matching jacket that he would wear. And so in my dream, it was a completely white space, and there were people walking around, but he was also there too. Now, when my dad got sick, he lost so much weight. He was a bigger guy, but by the time he was afflicted with the illness, he got really sick and really, really small. But in my dream, he was much bigger. He was his original size, but he had his hat on and his coat on. And I remember him coming up to me saying, and I'm looking at him in the dream, and I'm saying, well, Dad, you look like you're getting ready to go. Where are you going? You look like you're leaving me. And so he walked up to me and he kind of gave me a hug, and he said, I'm not leaving you, but I have to go. And the next day, which was December 12th, I got to the house, and by then I had quit my job so that I could help take care of my dad. But I got to the house and I went into the room and I started talking to him, saying, well, Dad, I had this dream that you were leaving me. Where you going? What's going on? So on and so forth. And I'm just talking. He's not really responsive at this point. And that was about 8 or 9 in the morning. By 1 o'clock, the nurse came, and they were going to put him in a hospital bed. This sounds really sad, but it's not at all. I'm a crybaby anyway, so don't worry about that. I cry on commercials, just in case you didn't know. But by the time the nurse got there, which was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they were going to put him in this hospital bed, and they were getting ready to transition him into the bed. Well, by the time the nurse got in and got into the room, we had realized that he had transitioned out. So the night before, I feel like it was him preparing me, or God preparing me for what was getting ready to happen. And so that's the last thing that I wanted to share with you. Look for life's lessons to prepare you for some things that you're getting ready to encounter, because life will prepare you, but we have to be present. We have to be aware, and we have to be attentive to what life is trying to teach us. And so I wanted to share all of that with you. And this was especially important for me to do this today, because it is also today that I learned that I will not be able to hold the Connections, Concordia, and Charity event with you all on March 24th. It's just too much stuff going on with the medical and the health and the corona and all of that stuff. So we're not going to do it at this time. However, the endowment stands. And as a matter of fact, I didn't pull it up, but we did do a couple of scholarships already for students. And I just so happened to get a letter in the mail last week, I believe. Let me find it and I'll read it to you, because this is what we're trying to do with the endowment. We're trying to just have an impact. Here it is. And so the letter says, I would like to thank you for this opportunity that you're giving me with this scholarship. I've lost so much in my life. Money has been a major issue, and now my depression and anxiety has been hitting me a lot. I promise I will not let this scholarship go to waste. And so that was the letter that Sheldon and I received after giving away the scholarships earlier this year. And so again, even though we're not having the event on the 24th, the endowment still stands. We still are looking to be a blessing to those that are coming ahead of us or behind us. We want to pay it forward. I want to say a special shout out to Tasha Russell, who just sent me a video. She tagged me in a video with a very wealthy somebody who's paying tuition for a whole school of seniors and their parents if they want to go back to school. And those are the things that we're trying to do. I want us to get to the point where we can support ourselves. I want us to get to the point where we can support each other and to pass it forward. You know, yeah, so that's that. So here are my lessons. Let me just sum it up again. Be present. Leaders must be present. Okay. 2, don't worry so much about what you lost. Don't focus on that, but acknowledge and celebrate what you have left. And don't take advantage of that. And don't take it for granted. And then the last thing is that just look for life. Look for the experiences that you have to really prepare you for what's to come ahead, because great things are in store for all of us. One of the premises of this event was that we all connect, that people connect. We have to get beyond the surface. And I love Facebook. I love social media, but there are some deeper relationships that we need to have in order for us to get to the point where we can trust each other so that we can help each other grow and be the best that we can be. So thank you for your time. Please share this video. Those of you that did buy tickets, there should have been an email coming out to you. You do have the option to get your money back, which is, you know, that's the thing you should do. But there's also still the donation button. So if anybody still wants to donate to the endowment fund, please feel free to do that. Again, this is not, this is for the children. This is for our future. This is for the next generation. So thank you so much for your time. I hope that you've gotten something out of this video, this few minutes, and you guys have an amazing evening. Thank you all who joined me. It's so nice to see you, my trees. Brandy, hey girl. Miss Ansonia, I miss you so much. Miss Ansonia is my Texas friend. Miss Tony, good to see you. Wanda, good to see you. Trina, I love you all. We got to get together. Mother, I love you. But you all have a good night. I'm going to try to get me some rest as well. I love you all, and we will connect with you again soon. I love you, Alicia. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.